Hello everyone, welcome back to another Buckner Project video. This one is on living expenses and how to spend your money in life. And we have two special guests today. We have Chris and Aaron from the Green Middle School. And we're here to talk about living expenses.
So living expenses are any of the expenses that have to do with housing, medical, clothing, feeding the family, and maintenance. The average American family spends $5,102 per month. And then down here we have a fun little image. So that's a house and those are trees.
Yeah.
And then that blue stuff is grass.
Okay. And what are those numbers?
The
Can you provide some insight?
I got you.
I mean, they have the thing, but can you elaborate on that?
$1,709. That is a number.
Yeah.
The median income is around $50,000 per family. Sorry, per capita, per person, right? Yes.
Family.
I
think it's $27,000 per family.
It's definitely more than that.
That's the average.
It's 100% more than that.
Average American income. Okay, yeah. So it's $64,000.
Nice. Yeah, that was the average income in
That was 2018. 2019. That was 2019.
That was the average income. 200.
So that's about 1/3 or 1/4 a year of what people are making in a year. So that's a lot. And look at the median home price, $300,000. Now, what are some individual objects that people may be spending their money on, Chris?
If you're buying a house, typically you're gonna want some furnishings inside of your house.
Yeah,
maybe a bed or a chair or two. You know, you also want to buy yourself some clothes.
So some examples, maybe food, clothing, and other day-to-day items.
Maybe depending on a region,
What's something the kids at home can try?
Atlanta.
Something the kids at home can try as like an exercise. Maybe they can go to a store and point out some things they may need as living expenses. So yeah, food stamps may be something to aid in some of these living expenses for those who are not.
Yeah, a little government assistance.
Yeah, we talked about that in I think last week's video. So you got food, clothing. So something you guys can do at home is actually to go to a store and you got to write a list of 5 items that are living expenses, such as food, clothing, other things you may need at your house, and then 5 things that are not living expenses. Some things that you don't necessarily need in your household. So luxury versus necessary. So a luxury item may be a TV like we have here, and then a necessity may be like food. So the difference between luxury and necessary items is what you have on your budget. So let's say that you're spending.
Luxury is when TV. Necessity is when raw fish and a basket of beans.
Chris has got it. So let's.
Like a cornucopia.
So here's something that you guys can do. So you're gonna make a pie chart, right? I'll draw one out for you guys.
Don't store your cooked food next to your raw food, kids. You're gonna die of certain diseases.
We're making a pie chart like that, right? A circle, and then you're gonna graph how much you think you should spend in each portion. Pause the video and then graph how much necessary luxury items. So graph how much food you need to spend, money you need to spend per month on food, how much money you need to spend per month on rent, how much money you need to spend per month on luxury items, and how much money you need to you spend, etc. So graph that up, pause the video, and I'll show you what you should be doing versus what you guys have. Unpause the video. When you unpause your video, come look here at my graph and compare it to yours. So we got 1/3 for rent/housing. We have about 1/3 for clothing/food. We have about 1/6 for luxury, and then about 1/6 for bills and other expenses you may encounter. So compare that with your graph and see how well you did. What are some definitions you may encounter in living expenses? Aaron, what are some definitions about living expenses?
Expenditure, which is the action of spending funds. And if you don't know what funds are saved money for a particular purpose. Budget.
So a fund is maybe one of the items that you may be spending in this pie chart. Does that sound right?
That's right. Yeah, some kids have, trust funds, but we won't get into that for today. Budgets, which are an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time, and a mortgage, which it's when the bank lends money in exchange for a debt's property.
Now, what do mortgages have to do with living expenses?
Well, that's something you have to factor into your living expenses.
How?
By looking at your budget and figuring out how much you'll have to spend for that.
Let's say that, you don't have enough money and you're third for housing. So then you gotta go and you gotta get a mortgage on your house. So that basically means that the bank is lending you money so you can pay for your house, pay that 1/3 for your house. They're gonna give you a little chunk of money so you can pay for that 1/3 in your budget. In exchange, your house is collateral. Now, what does collateral mean? Collateral means that your house, if you don't pay what you owe the bank back because you pay a little bit of interest, we talked about this in a prior video, you pay a little chunk of what the loan is back in addition to what you owe in the loan total, you pay that back to the bank. And if you can't pay that in a certain period of time, the bank can foreclose on your house and then they can own your house. And then you maybe have to try to get yourself out of that. So that is what a mortgage is, and that's how it relates to living expenses. So I think that's pretty neat. Chris, AJ, do you have anything else?
Nope, I just wish all you kids a happy holidays.
Okay, yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a good holiday. We'll be back tomorrow.
And Hanukkah.
And Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and whatever else you celebrate. So happy holidays, and thank you for supporting the Buckner Project.
Possibly even Native American holiday, if that's...
I don't think they're around. Goodbye. Signing off from Financial Literacy.